Former President Donald Trump spent yesterday barnstorming across the key battleground states of North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. According to CBS News polling, those states and other battlegrounds, they are very much up for grabs. Joining us now is Trump campaign National Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. Karoline, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time this morning. I am curious for a temperature check. The polls show this is a very close race. How are you feeling? What's the mood?
We're feeling great today at the Trump campaign headquarters here in West Palm Beach, Florida, and we remain cautiously optimistic that President Trump is going to win this election tonight. If you look at the early voting trends, they are certainly in our favor. Republicans have outpaced Democrats when it comes to the early vote, and we know that Republicans, especially President Trump supporters, prefer to vote in person on Election Day. So that leaves us with a historical advantage, but we're not taking a single second or voter for granted. We are focusing on getting out the vote today and encouraging as many Americans as possible to get out and cast their ballots, especially in these key battleground states.
Karoline, let's talk about the effort from the former president to get out that vote. In recent days at rallies, he's referred to Democrats as demonic, as lunatics. He's used the word evil. He's called them crooked. Acknowledging that there's been extreme rhetoric from the other side as well. I'm thinking about the Nazi comparison, Kamala Harris ratifying the idea that the former president is a fascist. Acknowledging that, would it not have been better for President Donald Trump in these closing days to turn toward a more unifying message?
Well, if you look at the majority of his speeches, actually, it is a unifying message. He constantly says we're going to unify this country through success. He has a real plan to make America affordable, safe, and strong again for future generations. And he has real policies to fix the problems that Kamala Harris has created. That's been his closing argument for weeks now. Kamala Harris broke it. President Trump is going to fix it. And if you look at that poll right there, economy, inflation, crime, immigration, those are the top issues that are top of mind for voters heading to the voting booth today. And who leads on every single one of those issues? It's Donald Trump, because he has a successful first-term record as president to run on. Kamala Harris has been a failure over the past 4 years, and that's why President Trump has repeatedly asked the question, are you better off today or were you better off 4 years ago? That has been our closing message. President Trump is the hardest working candidate in politics. He closed out this campaign last night in Michigan with a rally that ended at 2 in the morning. So he's truly left it all out on the field.
Karoline, our political coverage here is turning into a storm coverage in West Palm Beach. You're lucky to be indoors. We're getting hit with a little bit of weather, but I'm going to power through here. I want to ask you about the gender gap, something a lot of people have been talking about lately. Donald Trump leading by double digits among men, Kamala Harris double digits among women. The issue, one might say, for your campaign is that women are more reliable voters than men. Are you concerned?
We are not concerned. What we do see in this election, the greatest issue when it comes to gender is the Harris campaign when it comes to men. President Trump is performing better at this point with female voters than Kamala Harris is with male voters. And if you actually look at female turnout in comparison to 2020, when President Trump ran against Joe Biden, female turnout is down. And we see low propensity voters showing up to the polls. We also see men showing up to the polls this morning. So we're confident President Trump supporters of both genders are going to get out and vote for him today. And again, those early voting trends have been very encouraging for us. It's the Harris campaign that has a lot more catching up to do today.
Karoline, I'm going to send it back to our friends in the studio, Vlad and Adriana, who have other questions for you. I'm going to get out of the rain here for a moment. Thank you very much for talking to us.
All right. Stay safe.
Karoline, thanks so much for joining us. I have a quick question for you. It's been reported that sources close to your campaign are suggesting that the former president might perhaps declare victory prematurely tonight, just as he did back in 2020. And of course, you know how that happens. Oftentimes in some of those battleground states, they might trend red early in the night until all the votes are counted. Can you confirm that the former president, is intending to do that tonight?
I can't confirm that because I haven't heard that from President Trump myself. What I do know is that we are all cautiously optimistic that he's going to have victory tonight. What I can tell you is that we will be looking closely at Georgia and North Carolina, which the Harris campaign has also said they expect results from those states to come in first. Then we will be looking at the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, which of course is critical in the road back to the White House. We feel very confident in our ground game in Pennsylvania and our get out the vote effort. We've seen Republicans have cut a 22 2-point deficit in the early voting trend from where we were in 2020. So that's what I can tell you in terms of what we'll be looking at tonight. As far as when President Trump speaks, that's his decision to make, and he'll do it at the appropriate time.
All right, Karoline Leavitt, thank you very much. We appreciate it.